Hey, it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another video. This one is actually going to be about how to make yourself have an even bigger boy brain as a mutant than Professor X. I mean, this goblin puts Professor X to shame as mutants go. So, Goblin Ringleader is 10 mana for a 4/4 with haste, and when this creature enters the battlefield, fetch the first two goblins from your library. This is super sweet because Mutate says, when you cast this card from your hand, you mutate the creature, and then the creature that's mutated, every time you cast a new copy of that creature, it's going to gain the mutation effect. So, Goblin Ringleader, you cast one of these, and you get two more directly to your hand that you're going to be able to cast again, both of which are going to be able to mutate again. So, what I wound up doing is I wound up making an altered version of a deck that one of my coalition mates, Eric Lacombe, made. So the credit for this video definitely goes to him. But the Ringleader, if you pair it with Migratory Greathorn, can do great and terrible things, as Ollivander would say. So this thing, its mutation is going to make it so that when you get that mutation effect, you fetch the next land support from your library and move that card to play under your control. Now, given that we don't have anything like Rupture Spire in Standard, what you can do is you can use any of the shock lands. So I'm using Steam Vents in this particular deck. And what the shock land says, when this support enters the board, if you've lost life during this or the last turn, convert 4 gems to this shock land's colors. So this is particularly huge because if your opponent hits you, or you just play any burn spell, I'm running Electrodominance, on yourself, then all of the shock lands that come down that turn are going to be converting 4 gems. Now, I went ahead and threw Karametra into the deck too. This is actually the original deck that Eric came up with, was a Karametra in conjunction with the Ringleader. My version of it was using Ringleader with the Greathorn. But Karametra is going to say when you cast a creature, fetch the next land support from your library and move that to play under your control. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, what's going to happen is the Goblin's going to come out, it's going to be mutated, and potentially Karametra is going to be down, and it's going to fetch either 1 or 2 lands and put them directly on the battlefield. The only land in the deck that it can fetch is our shock land, so that means that every Goblin that comes down is going to be converting 4 gems. And so, as also I'm sure you can imagine, the Goblins stack up pretty quickly. You're going to have 6 Goblins in your hand before you know it, and once those things have steam, aka mana, no pun intended, but maybe intended, you're going to start converting a whole bunch of gems, and it becomes a chain that is only stoppable by the loop timer. Or bad luck, but we're going to go ahead and say the loop timer. Now, if you have Goblin Ringleader and Migratory Greathorn and any of the shocklands, you can make a version of this deck and make it work. You do not need the mythics, you do not need the masterpieces, all right? So instead of running Electrodominance like me, you can run any spell that can burn yourself, and that's fine, that'll do. You can run anything else that's going to draw you cards. Just make sure you don't put any other lands in your deck. I'm running Death Sprout for removal and Demolish to get rid of pesky supports. And then I'm personally running Mirror March. I love Mirror March in this deck because it's going to make it so that the combo gets started a lot easier. Because you really need to have like 2-3 goblins in your hand with full mana before everything turns into effectively like a near infinite combo. And part of what makes it near infinite, by the way, is that Karametra has the resilient modifier, so it's not going to break when it gets matched. And more importantly, the Steam Vents, they're not going to get broken, or your Shockland, they're not going to get broken because they're going to be gaining 3 shields for every single Goblin you play. And if the Steam Vents do die, then it doesn't matter because you're getting another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. So in the gameplay that I'm going to be showing you, I didn't wind up getting Karametra down, but I did get Mirror March down. And so you're going to see just how potent this really is. I hope you enjoy. As starting hands go, this is kind of exactly what we want to see. We've got the Ringleader and we've got the Greathorn. So we're going to be able to play the Ringleader, get more Goblins, and then we're going to be able to have the Greathorn mutate it, and then get our combo going pretty early. So as things go, that was a pretty fantastic start to the match. Now I'm going to be using Sarkhan's first ability. I just want to be able to draw. That's really what matters here. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Ringleader, and you're actually going to see that I'm going to go for Finale of Devastation. I'm moving it up. No, let's get the Greathorn. We've got the Greathorn. Why not? You know, the Greathorn's pretty good. So you'll see that with casting the Goblin, we immediately get 2 more Goblins straight to our hand, which is exactly what we want. We just drew an Electro Dominance, which is perfect. One of the reasons I didn't want to initially mutate the Goblin was because I hadn't taken any damage. And so without having taken damage, there's going to be no gem conversion. And really, in order to make this work, you need the gem conversion. So I'm charging up Electro Dominance in case I get Mirror March. I would very much so like to be able to get that down if I can draw it. Days Undoing is absolutely not Mirror March. So I'm just going to go ahead, keep charging up Electro Dominance. And you're actually going to see that I'm not going to go ahead and kill their creature because remember, I do want that creature to hit me. If the creature hits me, then I don't have to use Electro Dominance to burn myself. So that just means that I kind of freely get to have taken damage to get our combo going. So I'm not going to use Electro Dominance here. I'm going to see what I draw. It's Mirror, but that's perfect. Okay, so we got Mirror March. That's super sweet. We can now actually just go ahead, throw away the Finale, and try and see if we can get this to work this turn. So we want the Greathorn to come down, and then as many Ringleaders as we can. We also want the Mirror March to come down. So let's see. We've got red into green into red green. So we got a whole bunch of goodness here. So let's go ahead and mutate the Goblin, and that's immediately going to fetch a land that's going to convert gems, which is going to give us another Goblin, which means that... Oh, perfect. Okay, so we got Mirror March. We've got Electro Dominance here, so we're going to go ahead and burn Garruk. And then this Goblin is going to come down. It's going to convert gems, and Mirror March is going to activate because we have a bunch of red gems down on the battlefield. And so here's where the fun begins. You'll see that I've got 2 Goblins fully charged in my hand, which means that this is a done deal. This game is over. So I can actually just let this go until the Goblins get high enough to kill Garruk. I think I'm probably going to hit the loop timer, just because it takes a while to have a 4/4 get powerful enough to chunk out 107 health, but that's okay. It's not going to be... It's not a big deal. It's a worthwhile cause. So that beautiful animation you just saw there is sadly the end of our Mirror March, but that's okay. We have enough Goblins. Yeah, there's the loop timer up on top. So we're going to go ahead and say no. We don't want to stop the loop because we want our Goblins to kill Garruk this turn. We're awfully close. We might as well just do it and, well, you know, Nike style. See what happens. Now we're getting a whole bunch of mana, and like once you get it started, basically the whole board turns into the 2 colors of your Shockland. So you're just gonna keep matching and matching and matching. Ideally, your Shockland's going to be in a color that gives your Planeswalker a good mana boost. Your Planeswalker is going to have to be red-green for this, though. So if you want to make this deck work with the Mutate, you're definitely going to want to use red-green. And I want to add really quickly that you don't have to have the Greathorn for this. You can actually use this Goblin Ringleader with basically any other mutate creature to do terrible, terrible things. The Ringleader is just a fantastic creature to mutate because you're going to get more and more copies of it. And as you get more copies of it, you get nonsense shenanigans like this. If you run the Ringleader with Karametra and something else that mutates, then you can have it so that instead of the Mutate doing all of this, Karametra is doing all of this, and you're getting another Mutate effect. So fun all around. I'm going to stop it here. Kill Garruk. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Steve.